What's going on, everybody? We got another creepy one. All types of disturbing discoveries, scary revelations, disturbing theories. You guys know the vibes. If you guys haven't already, smash that like and subscribe button. Without further ado, let's dive into these waters. And nevertheless, always remember, keep your head on a straight swivel.
This man found something very strange in Egypt in 1988, and I'm not surprised we have heard nothing about it since. So his name is Gregor Spori. He is Swiss. He's a researcher, he's an author, he's an archaeologist. He's like Indiana Jones. Listen to what he did. He met with a group in Cairo, and these guys were grave robbers, and the word had spread that they found something really interesting, and he wanted to get it off them. What they handed him in a bundle of rags would change the course of his life. He unrolled the bag and found a 16-inch giant mummified finger. You can even see the bone sticking out the other end. A 16-inch finger, they did the math, it would make the creature that had this finger be 16 feet tall. Disclaimer, this video is meant for purely entertainment purposes only, and it's not to be taken as a fact. This could be totally a hoax, but some stuff in ancient times about giants, it just seems a bit too... So, it may very well be fake, but if it's real, this is a giant, damn giant, man. 16 freaking feet, can you imagine? And this is a mural that was in a pyramid in Sudan with a giant holding two elephants. It could just be cool artwork, it could be metaphorical. But all I know is an elephant's longer than 16 feet, probably. And so that would make this guy very tall. Maybe there was different types of giants. If they existed, they could be totally fake. Comment below if you thought you'd see a giant mummified finger on Instagram today.
Oh my God. That thing
This
looked
man found
real.
something.
It looked real, 100% real. We got to see that again. We have to see that again.
An archaeologist. He's like Indiana Jones. Listen to what he did. He met with a group in Cairo, and these guys were grave robbers, and the word had spread that they found something really interesting, and he wanted to get it off them. What they handed him in a bundle of rags would change the course of his life. He unrolled the bag and found a 16-inch giant
Finger. You can't make that up. You cannot make that up. You can see the fingernail. Oh, they're trying to hide that. They're definitely trying to hide that. For entertainment purposes only, that is definitely real. 100%. Unbelievable. That is shocking. I'm pretty sure that they got giants hidden somewhere, but the fact that this is a finger, let me know y'all thoughts below on this one.
Hey guys, check out this amazing video of what appears to look like some type of ship or UFO object coming out of the moon. With the hundreds of videos that are populating all over the internet, I've seen all sorts of UFO videos, but this one here definitely got my attention. Because when I look at this video, obviously the quality is absolutely perfect. And it doesn't look like CGI or some sort of AI video. And what we can see is some sort of Tic Tac UFO, the same Tic Tac UFO the Navy claimed they chased here in the United States. What? Hey guys, check out this amazing video.
This is literally crazy. I want to say it's real, but look at the shadow. The shadow really doesn't line up. Well, it might, but how can you have shadow and plasma is my first question. You know, I'd have to see the shadow again. Yeah, that shadow is going a little bit too far. But then again, I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts below. The shadow doesn't really correlate from the movement of the actual UFO, so it's definitely weird and strange. Definitely strange. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
There is a massive injustice going on in the automotive industry that few people are talking about. Now, some may say it's obvious, but if it was really that obvious to the vast majority of the masses, then things would seriously change. So this is a 1985 F-250, okay? These trucks were built to last. This was during an era where car manufacturer companies, vehicle manufacturers are trying to make better and better and longer lasting and stronger and more durable vehicles. If you took care of your vehicle like this, it could still be running today. Yeah, you got to change a few belts. There's a couple, things that may need to be replaced, but the engine can last. And the material it's built out of was much thicker grade aluminum or steel. Now contrast this to today's vehicles. The gauge of metal that the body is made of is much thinner. There's a lot more plastic and a lot of parts that are made in China. There's a lot more things that can go wrong. It's so computerized. You'd think over the last 100 years, a technology would have been developed and made that can make vehicles last a lot longer and be more durable and be more fuel efficient. It's almost like planned obsolescence, like Apple got caught doing with the new updates on their older phones. Look at the difference of interior even. Look at the detail in some of these vintage car interiors and compare it to today. Much less detail, bland. It reminds me of modern day architecture compared to the 1800s Victorian architecture. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if there's some type of plan afoot here.
There's definitely a plan in foot. They trying to make money. They want you to keep bringing them into the dealership because more problems are arising. It's much safer to have those old school vehicles. It's nothing but straight metal in case someone runs into you or something, versus your car just disintegrating because it's just made of plastic. Yeah, man, I'm an old school type of guy.
Okay, if you're at all like mentally unstable or fragile, don't watch this one. So I've made a lot of videos about organoid intelligence in the past. That's where you take human brain cells and grow them in a petri dish and then use a computer to train them just like AI. They're actually more powerful than AI in that they learn quicker and are more energy efficient, but there are huge ethical concerns with them because they have similar brain activity to a premature baby. And there's a lot of people out there that object to these because there's a decent amount of evidence that they're conscious, just like a person. I recently posted a company called Final Spark, and they actually have something called Neural Platform where you can rent out essentially server space on these organoid brains. So you can pay for them to do things for you. This is a live stream of the organoid brain computers that you can rent out, but there's something way more concerning on their website, and that's this simulation which the brains are fed sensory data from so that they can feel everything the butterfly feels and control it to like fly around. The reason why that's terrifying is there's a good chance the brains, if they are conscious, just believe they are that butterfly. Because when they're not in use by someone purchasing their computational power, they just fly around and exist in that simulation. And you probably already see where I'm going with this, but if this is possible, you could make a pretty good case that we are just organoid brains somewhere, and this is the simulation that we're in. And maybe like when you daydream or just fall asleep, that's someone using your consciousness to do something else. I don't know, but crazy to think about. Crazy time. Okay, if you're at all.
That is definitely crazy. Oh my God. AI using actual brains? Just when you thought you've seen it all. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. I'm interested to hear that.
Rock supposedly contains red mercury inside of it, and it was found in Egypt, and it can do strange things. This, for example, is what the man is going to experiment right now with the water bottle. He approaches the rock, see what happens. Now he's going to experiment with the bottle of Coca-Cola, and this is what happens. Check this out. Now, red mercury is supposedly a substance that does not exist. it was technically used in the 40s to produce atomic bombs or something like that. Check this out. However, it was never proved that it existed. There's a lot to know about red mercury. There's a lot of videos going on, and if you'd like to know more, leave a like for part 2 and I'll explain everything.
This stuff right here is so mysterious. I honestly don't know what it is. What does it say on there? Does anybody know what that says on the bottle? It looks like it says 1320 and 1228. So whatever is on this bottle, whatever this is, they didn't had this for over 700 years. By the looks of it, 1268, 1320. So what, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I really believe it's turning the water red and it's making the Coke bottles explode. Drop in the comments below what you guys think that is.
Grains, which is the seeds of grass. You can't break down gliadin. You can't break down prolamine. You can't break down wheat germ or gluten. You can't break down the polypeptide derived chains that come from these things. You can't miss the acid ash and the carbonic acids that come from these things. And your stomach can't break them down, so they tear up your intestinal tract. Then we're going to go to the citric acid nightshades you call tomatoes with 88% H2O2. This is going to break down super fast, which is going to break down on top of these seeds, and it's going to create mold, and it's going to create fermentation and fungus in your system. Now, this is the reason why you have patchy skin, psoriasis. So, you mix them with the dairy, the lactose, the number one carcinogenic for asthma, for bronchitis, for all types of upper respiratory diseases. You mix it with that. Then you have the nerve to say, add some lettuce on that, dog. See, we have the complex that we think if we add lettuce, like we're herbivores when we're frugivores. You're not herbivore, you're frugivore. You get the complex that this is going to make this burger better. You made it more complex. Then on top of that, you want to add meat. And again, heterocyclic amines, polycyclic, aromatic hydrocarbons. Look these things up. Look up the polypeptide chains. Look at what you call stress meats and how they kill these animals. And then you are eating these dopamines. You're eating this acetylcholine. You're eating the adrenaline and the adrenal of the meats. And then you start having anxiety. Your thyroid go down. Your cholesterol raises from eating these stress meats because you haven't realized that the animals is your brothers and sisters, because we have been taught and trained by another people to look at these things like they are inferior to us. Ooh, wee. Then you have the nerve to say, let me get that with a side of fries, dog. Side of fries, a potato, which is 90% water. Now, you got the wrong potato as that, because most of the potatoes you got is GMO. Not only that, you're going to mix this potato, which is 90% water, with hot oil. And you're going to turn this oil over 300 degrees. So now you're mixing oil and water, and water and oil do not mix. They teach you this in elementary school. Water and oil don't mix, so the body is going to choose to break down one first. So guess what the body is going to break down and digest? The water and the potato. Guess what it's going to do to the oil? It's called a fontanelle. Look it up. Fontanelle. Alternative route of elimination. It is literally going to push all of the oil in pockets of the body. Now guess what? The pockets can't stand it, so it's going to push it into the bloodstream. The bloodstream can't stand it, so it's going to call calcium. Calcium is going to then plaque the oil on the artery walls. When too much plaquing of cholesterol builds up, they call this what? Heart attack. Oh man. You see why these things are not made to be mixed, are not made to be combined? Do you see that? We have to rightfully and righteously start combining our foods.
Man, it's, for some reason I believe them. Like, we're supposed to eat plants, man. We're not really supposed to be eating all this meat. It does say in a good book, I believe in Romans, that whoever doesn't eat meat won't have a strong soul. You can look that up, because I remember looking at that before. We got to do better, man, especially if you ain't feeling the best. I highly recommend just eating straight raw vegetables. I know it's tough, man. Trust me, especially growing up eating double cheeseburgers. Man, Denny's makes a bad double cheeseburger. Boy, I just put meat and cheese on mine, man. Them patties, that burger be like that thick, but that ain't it, y'all. This meat ain't really it.
Red rice is a poison. The only rice that is made on this planet that was made by God is that one that we call the wild rice. Red rice is a poison.
I love rice too, man. I love white rice with some butter, throw some Tonys on it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Where can we even buy wild rice at? It says the only real rice is wild rice. I mean, I like wild rice too. I think I had it a couple times, but not like white rice, man. No, definitely fried rice with eggs ain't it either. Uh-oh, Tyler Hansen popped up. Yes, this is Tyler Hansen, Hansen. This man is unstoppable.
Absolutely profound happening with me and alligators. And I'm going to try to explain it. And honestly, I'm going to ask for some help because I don't fully understand what it is that's going on. But I was on a bike ride today in my very own neighborhood, and this alligator sensed my presence. And not only did it sense it, but it was drawn to me. And it came over and just stared at me for minutes. But this isn't the first encounter I've had with alligators. Not by a long shot. And the other ones that I've encountered, well, they make this one look like an ant. Let me explain. You see, before I moved to Florida, I traveled to the Northeast for a month. And just on a very simple sightseeing tour, I made my wife stop the car immediately because I saw something. I saw something huge. And while you might not see it right here, all outlined in black, even with an eyeball, when I do a side-by-side for you, I think it's pretty hard to deny that there is an alligator there, petrified, that's the size of a bus. And in all the research and in all the videos and pictures I have found of people finding giant petrified animals, I have never seen this one. And like I said, I was there. This was from my very own camera. So not only do I feel like I was the very first person to find this giant petrified alligator, but only a month later, now living in Florida, I decided to research the Devil's Tower some more because it being a petrified tree didn't really sit well with me. And what I found was clear as day. But this time, the alligator I found wasn't the size of a bus. It was the size of a city. And you can see here with its eye, the Devil's Tower, and its snout. And you could even see in the terrain remnants of its giant claw. And what the Devil's Tower actually was just one of the prongs on the alligator's giant back. So not only did I find a giant bus-sized petrified alligator in New Hampshire, but I found a city-sized one in Wyoming. One that's hard to deny when you see the remnants. And today I literally had one that seemed to be stalking me. But maybe it wasn't stalking me. Maybe it was trying to give me a message. Because when I looked up alligators in scripture, it resonated greatly with me. Because not only does it talk about an alligator's strength and power, but it talks about how an alligator lurks beneath the water's surface, patiently waiting to strike. And it reminds us of the unseen forces of evil that seek to ambush believers. And I feel like I've experienced that greatly lately, even to the point where people befriend you and wait and get your confidence and then strike when the time is right. But an alligator also reminds us to be resilient and weather life's challenges and to always keep on the spiritual armor of God. And when looking into the spiritual meaning of an alligator outside of the Bible, it talks about returning to your primal instincts and senses. And that's something I've been doing a lot lately because for 42 years of my life, I was taught that my senses and my instincts weren't right. Like looking at the sun and being told that the earth is moving when clearly it's the sun. So maybe, just maybe, finding giant, incredibly unimaginable big alligators was just God's way of saying, keep that armor on, son. And this monster wasn't coming at me as foe, but as friend to deliver a message that maybe I just hadn't received yet. But all of this was just for entertainment purposes. I know there's no such thing as giant city-sized or bus-sized alligators, because things definitely, without a doubt, were not much, much bigger before the flood that covered the entire world.
I do believe that there were giant animals, but this one, I almost would feel like if it was a prong poking out from an alligator, we will see multiple of these protruding. And if we look at the Devil's Tower, it literally looks cut, like the angels labored at that giant tree. Like, I'm all with trying to find giant petrified animals. I hear you. And I see the snout. But I think this one might be a reach, just because we don't see multiple prominent Devil's Towers protruding out. But the rock formation he pulled over and took a snapshot of, that could definitely been a petrified one as well. But a giant one as big as a city, I get it. I see the snout, but if there was multiple protruding Devil's Towers out and maybe, a little bit more action, we will see it. But we can see right here, that's just one arm, one back leg at that. But I don't know. You guys tell me. That's just my initial thoughts looking at it.
And things like this giant claw, it's just pareidolia. Entertainment only.
Sir, I need to ask what you do for a living.
A lot of things.
A lot of things? Can you give me anything?
Yeah, it depends. Something smoking.
Something smoking? No. Any industry?
No.
No?
I'm 21.
21. Okay.
You got to take a rough guess.
Okay, I think I know. Thank you, sir.
Daddy's money, if you ask me. Inherited it. That car's all right. I'm not in love with it. I guess I don't see the big picture of it, but it looks cool, I guess. 10 million. I could put a lot of people that need homes in a home before I drive something like that around. Got a lot of people, a lot of mouths I could feed. You could feed damn near an entire town for 6 months buying bulk food for that much money. That's just how I look at it. Sell this thing for that much and put up a couple foundations. How many wholesale winter coats can I get for kids that need coats? You know what I'm saying? Before y'all see me flossing in any type of $10 million car. You know what I'm saying? I just I ain't cut like that. He's basically saying, he's looking at him like a microwave and he's saying dinner's done. Is that what he pulled out his phone? If this is even real, why even pull out your phone? Like, we'll believe you. Just tell the story. Save yourself first. The cloud is not that important.
This is Isaac Newton. He was a lunatic. He had mercury in his hair. He was studying the Temple of Solomon.
So you had mercury poisoning?
Mercury poisoning. And this is Newtonian physics. Look at Tesla. He's like on a date thinking about Faust, seeing a vision of like alternating current engine. These are the people who warped society permanently. There was nothing tame, domesticated, or normal about them. So it's just weird that this thing has emerged. Science is somehow like filled with just very normal, completely professional people when the history of it seems to be littered with maniacs. Okay. This is Isaac Newton.
He said mercury in his hair. Maybe it just got a little gray. Real mercury? That's wild.
They went up above the storm and they were filming these things, not knowing really what they are. They're still a mystery to scientists today. Even the people that took these pictures have their interpretations of what they've seen. They really didn't know what it was. They were kind of going with sort of a mainstream narrative. But I'm going to show you this, and when I show it to you and compare it to the footage that you've seen of the firmament from our previous videos, it's going to blow your mind. And Yeah, I don't know about you, but it's made me emotional. It was kind of hard to even sit down and start this video in the first place. But you can see right here some of their footage of these lightning sprites shooting out of the firmament. When they play it in slow motion and you brighten it, it's very easy to see the structure above us that's been mentioned in the Bible and just read over and ignored for many centuries. I mean, this is something that I don't know how we missed it, but I do know how we missed it. But look at this footage here of a geyser out in, I believe this is Greenland. And I'm going to compare side by side both of these and just look at it. You can't deny the waters below when you see this. This is something that it's like an exact replica. It's breathtaking. I'm going to leave it up here for you. Just look at it, analyze it, let us know what you think. I can't unsee stuff like this. This is something you just can't unsee. And I just thank the Father for revealing it to all of us as He is, because there is a mountain of lies out there that we have all been exposed to, and there are more to come. So just know the truth about creation. This earth is not moving. There is a firmament above us. We've seen it. It's there. And it's time to find out what our true purpose really is. We are no accident. There was no Big Bang explosion that caused all of this. This is the Father's handiwork.
Guys, I know we did a video on this yesterday, but this is high quality. A new video. Well, this is probably an older video, but someone remastered it. I'm glad they did, because it shows you. Unbelievable.
This man
went right.
This man found something very strange.
They went up above.
There's something
They went up above the storm.
There's something huge going on, and y'all have got to know about it. My research for the last 13 years just took a very disturbing turn. So we all know about the theory that there's PNCs walking among us, people that aren't really people. It's a lot deeper than that. The Schumann frequency and its new record comes highly into play with what we're talking about right now, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to try to explain this as quickly as possible. So there's many different beings walking around us every single day. But the PNC that people are referring to, they're not really PNCs, they're actually soulless individuals. This has finally been accomplished over the last 6 decades. Now, I'm not at liberty to tell you guys how this has been accomplished, but the important thing is, it has been accomplished.
I'm at liberty. Go back and watch my Cabbage Patch videos. They talking about the Industrial Revolution and all that. Just a whole bunch of incubator babies from test tubes. Where did they get it? How they do it? I don't know. But that's how they did it. Hey, check it out, man. All these insane asylums, you know, they getting visages, they're getting visions, they know what's going on, they trying to make people forget. That's what happened. For entertainment purposes, of course. Let me know what you think happened.
So we know the eyes are a window to the soul, correct? First thing to point out, the soul is not the spirit's not the soul is the living entity. When God breathes life, it breathes a living entity into someone. Soulless people are not spiritless people. Spirit is the inner being that lives in the flesh suit. The soul is the life. An example of that is if you get a little rodent and hold it against its will for a day or two in your hands, you will break its soul. It will no longer be who it was before by nature. So there are many people among us right now and their soul has been broken. These people are living without any drive, barely any emotion, and a complete inability to see anything in the spiritual nature of this world. They are basically unalive walking beside us that cannot see and cannot hear the things that we see and that we hear. And you can see this in the dullness of their eyes. And that's exactly why when people see grays, what do they see? nothingness, emptiness in their big black eyes. We're not going to get into what the graves are right now. You can see that here. But they're semi-physical, semi-spiritual creatures without a soul. Spirit driving the machine, but no soul. Do not get the two mixed up. Spirit, soul, completely different. There's a reason that no matter how hard you try to wake these people up, to show these people things, they just cannot receive it. These people are just like walking corpses. They literally...
Just a quick interject, in the book of Isaiah, it says, let me pull it out. Poured out upon you the spirit of the deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers. The ears has he covered, and the visions of all has come unto you of the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver it to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he says, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he says this, I have not learned. So no matter what you try to do, that book is sealed. Let's see what it says in the ISR. For Yahuwah has poured out unto you the spirit of the deep sleep. I call that cryostasis, y'all. And he has covered your heads, the seers, and the entire vision is to you like the words of a book that is sealed, which men give to one who knows the books, saying, read this, please. And he said, I am unable, for it is sealed. And the book is given to one who not know books, saying, read this, please. And he says, I have not known books. Look, I'm saving that. We saving that. I need to dig off in this book more, man. Because when people just saying stuff, it'll just be like you know how Spider-Man has like Spidey senses tingling? I'll be having something else tingling, and it just be like, oh yeah, that was right there in Isaiah, baby.
Because otherwise, these soulless people, these NPCs, these people who have no understanding, these people would walk right off a cliff, and there's a giant cliff coming, and they'll walk right off of it, just by a simple command. As I said, the mission to steal the human soul goes back decades. There are very high, wicked principalities that are dominating the earth and the spiritual realm, and no one can even see them. And these things, they have a plan. Break the soul, hijack the being, and bring these people to the second death. Let me leave you with this. Where would the demons, the fallen angels, and Lucifer himself, where would they be most active? In the part that can't be seen by human eyes. Because they will narrate the entire story, and we will only see the physical manifestation of them, but the soulless beings cannot see it.
If you know what this is, then you are a massive reason.
Damn, we were just talking about this, and I was wondering, the Schumann residence? What was this? I was literally just thinking, what is this, man? That's gotta be these AI robots reading my mind. I was literally just thinking, what was that chart he was just talking about? So, I guess here it is.
Of why it is absolutely off the charts lately. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is called the Schumann resonance, which is the vibrational frequency of Mother Earth. Now, Tesla said himself, if you wish to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He also said that our entire biological system, the brain, and the earth itself work on the same frequencies. The higher we vibrate, the higher amount of energy that we have. High vibrational frequency becomes light, and low vibrational frequency becomes matter. When they talk about heaven and hell, it's simply a euphemism for living in your higher or lower self. Now, the Earth's vibrational frequency has been absolutely off the charts the past few days. This means that the Earth herself is ascending into higher states of consciousness and energy. When they talk about the Great Awakening, people starting to realize what's really going on in this world, this is a huge reason for it. As the Earth raises her frequency, in turn, we raise our frequency. Cultivating peace within is the key to raising your dominant vibration. This is how you ascend into the highest version of yourself. This is why the elites are so desperate to purport. If you know what...
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I believe hell is a real place. And I believe the halls of Adamante is right above it, if not in the middle. And in the fountains of the great deep, the deepest part, the vents of the deep, I believe that's at the bottom of hell as well, but that's for another story. Or Sheol, as I should say. Sheol. that's for another video where we're going to dive in. This is a random boy, but yeah. If you guys want to hear a scary story real quick, I had someone tell me that it's 3 a.m. is when you can literally hear the doors of hell open up. How crazy is that? You know, and I remember reading this one story where someone went down actually into hell. I don't know if it was an out-of-body experience, a dream, or whatever. He said that when he was down there, like how it's raining outside, imagine a thunderstorm outside. Imagine each raindrop as souls falling into hell. That's what it was like and how fast people are going, you know. And then when the guy said at 3 a.m. when he heard the doors, it was like a chain door, like a giant, you know. I'm not trying to go there, you know, but it's I don't want to go there. I would like to get into heaven, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm guaranteed I'm going to heaven like Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan, I'm going to heaven. You know, it's not a promise to anyone. All we can do is repent and do our best to try to be just in this world. Keep fighting the good fight. Bro bought a mannequin head and said, you know what, let me practice my telekinesis on this. He's a savage. Was that real or was that fake? Me? I knew some people that was heavy into this. You know, my cousin was heavy into doing this. He wasn't actually knocking down bottles, but he'll tell me like how he'll bend a spoon with his mind. So it's not that far-fetched to me, but at the same time, I'm like in the middle. Like, is this real or not? You know? Y'all let me know. But that's all I got for today's video, man. It was a random one, but this is a good one, man. There's a lot of interesting stuff being thrown at us. I got a whole bunch of bangers if you're new around here, so you can go back and watch. The code word today is 100%. 100. If you made it all the way, drop the 100 in the chat for the code word so I know you're a real one and you made it all the way through, man. I really appreciate you guys watching these whole bangers from start to finish. Real riders. You guys really fire up your own submersible and jet skis and be on these dark waters right with me. And I love you guys for that, honestly, man. My day was a little hectic today. That's why this one's a little later. But tomorrow I should be posting a little bit sooner. Definitely plan on going live soon, so be on the lookout for that live. I don't know when exactly, but it's coming, guys. Just had a hectic day today. Didn't get back really till about 5 p.m. But I had to get this off today. You know, we got to get these videos banging. And I thank you guys. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless. Peace out, and be safe.